So you're looking to get some budget Nintendo 64 games.
I'm always on the lookout for cheap N64 games.
So today what we're gonna go over is some of our top choices of games you wanna get into and not pay as much money. And we're gonna go over the games and tell you exactly what you can expect to pay on it. So what do we have first, Gerard?
We have Pilot Wing 64, another personal pick for me. Love this game. It's kind of like a flight simulator for the N64. There was a lot of different things you could do with the game. There was like a helicopter, gyrocopter style thing. There was a rocket, like a jetpack style game. And the more you play of the game, more you unlock. There's hang gliding, there's a thing called Birdman, you can shoot out of a cannon, there's all kinds of good stuff. And the best part is, for a game that's first party made by Nintendo, it's a little bit cheaper than games we've talked about so far.
Yeah, looking at it, 35, 40 max, probably will be able to get this one for a bit cheaper than even those prices. That is the going, but you get a really good game for a okay amount of money on that one.
Yeah.
And that brings us to number 2. Going on the other end, we've got Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey.
Yes.
And you know what? The best part about this game is you don't have to be into sports games to have a good time with this. This is an arcade hockey game. I mean, you can set nets on fire, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean,
it's like 3-on-3 arcade action.
Yeah, exactly. It's fast-paced, and you're not playing it for the graphics. You're playing it for how fast-paced it is, and playing up to 4 players. And for $15, you're gonna have a lot of fun either by yourself or with some friends.
Yeah, check your friends up into the boards.
Yeah.
Like through the glass.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that brings us to staying with the sports theme. We're gonna go with 1080 snowboarding. Great game. I remember having it, and I snowboarded growing up, but my brothers chose this, and I didn't really know what it was all about. Mm-hmm. And it offers a lot of different, again, gameplay. There's a trick attack, there's time attack, there is like a big training mode where you can just have like a big half pipe and just cruise down the hill. There's a race mode, and it's got 2-player multiplayer as well. Good sports game, and it looks great for an N64 game.
Yeah.
Like, it has held up remarkably well. It's got really...
And a popular game. Most people played it growing up. Yeah, and whenever I get it, it sells really quick. And
really? I didn't know that.
And part of that is because it's a game people have played, and it's only $25. So it's really not an expensive one.
On the cheap.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed, that's what this video is about.
Right? And that bringing us to another good multiplayer game, Turok II. You got the black case finally, and if you're into Turok 1, it's also a fairly cheap game, but we recommend this one just because of the multiplayer. The 4-player multiplayer on the Nintendo 64, that was part of the allure of Nintendo 64, right? So play with a lot of friends and killing each other, also get to blow up some dinosaurs. You'll have a good time with this game. And you'll definitely have a good time with it at $20.
Just, wow, 20?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It was pretty cheap. So moving on from Turok 2, we have Blast Corps. Now, this was another game made by Rare, which at this point was almost like a subsidiary of Nintendo. They weren't, but like making awesome games. So this is probably one of the most unique games on the console. It is basically what you wanted to do in a sandbox when you were growing up.
Yeah, wanted to make a sandcastle and kick it over.
Yeah, this was, you're basically clearing the way for another vehicle that's carrying a nuclear payload. I mean, that sounds weird, but like you drive a bunch of different vehicles, you're destroying buildings, you're smashing through barriers, trying to clear the way so this thing doesn't explode. You can fly around in mechs, you can use bulldozers, you can use all kinds of stuff, but it's totally arcade. Like, it's not like a simulator, right? It is an interesting perspective, and it's not a bad looking game either. And it's only going to cost you $25, in the neighborhood of $25.
Yeah, and you get a lot for it, and it's definitely one of those games. I remember renting it and being like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I was also like 6 years old. So as you get older, when you know what you're doing, it is a really good game to come back to.
Yeah.
And for our next guy, we've got WCW versus NWO World Tour. The wrestling games on the N64 are, for the most part, they're all pretty good. We picked this one because it is probably the best for the price. You're gonna play with a lot of wrestlers, another 4-player game, and a lot of the wrestlers, Hulk Hogan, a lot of big names inside of it, and and you're gonna get it for $15. I mean, keeping the price low. If you're getting the whole gist of this video, the idea is that, if you have a low budget, you can go in and be like, oh, I can actually get like 5 or 6 games, and that's why it's on the list.
It's a great $15 game. Again, 4-player action, really good stuff. So moving on from there, We're gonna go to somebody. I've heard people don't like this game, but it's coming back. It's coming back. The Episode 1 racer. So you're the pod racer for Star Wars. Like high speed. Like when people think of high speed racing, they usually think of F-Zero. But this is a great. It's a great substitute. Like it's really good. It's a nice looking game. It's got lots of voice clips, not from the movie. They were made for the game, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You're racing around tracks that you recognize from Star Wars Episode 1, and you know you can't beat the price when it comes to a game that is kind of unknown.
Yeah, and it's multiplayer too, right?
2-player.
Yeah.
2-player multiplayer.
So I mean, you're still gonna have some high speed fun with it, and at $15, you just can't go wrong again.
$15. Not an argument there.
No. And then this is going to bring us to the most expensive game on the list, but we just had to have it on a list, and it didn't quite fit on the other lists, and that's Diddy Kong Racing. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. You know, you get into a world where you get to pick whether you're in a kart, a hovercraft, an airplane, and you get to play 4-player multiplayer. It's got battle modes.
And it's often compared to Mario 64, or excuse me, Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
But the offerings that Diddy gives you there's more.
Yeah, we had a long conversation about this one, and the thing about it is the campaign, it keeps bringing you back in to collect the coins and get all the balloons, and even all the cheat codes you can put in. You put a cheat code in and play 2-player co-op for the whole game.
Exactly.
So it just offers a lot, and at $40, it really is worth every dollar.
And you were saying that you're kind of in the camp of you take that over Mario Kart 64.
Oh, definitely.
Right? There's more offerings there. Oh, we're not casting any shade on Mario 64.
Yeah.
Why do I keep saying that? I keep saying it that way. Anyway, Mario Kart 64, great game, but Diddy really gives you more bang for your buck.
Yes, it does.
Speaking of games that kind of, again, I'm staying with the Star Wars theme here. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, another game that came out early on the console and kind of acts as like a tech demo of it for the console, but has tons of different gameplay options for it. I won't get into the story of the game, but like you're flying around you're blowing up TIE fighters, you're flying around in snow speeders, there's on foot levels, there's a speeder bike type level where you're racing and stuff like that. You're, killing stormtroopers, you're taking out Wookiees, you fight Boba Fett. Like there's lots of different gameplay offers here, and you know what? You'll have fun with it. Yeah. Even if it is older. And at $25, you just can't go wrong again. Most people have played this game, and if you haven't, we highly recommend it, just like every other game on the list. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah. So that pretty much concludes our, it was a bigger list than we usually do. Yeah. But we wanted to give lots of options in case you're looking for single player and multiplayer, and I think we covered all of it. Well, I think the main thing here is that we covered games that, like, you could get most of these games. Well, you can get all of these games for cheaper than you could get the shorter list that we put out. Mm-hmm. So basically that's how it is, and drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and we have a whole playlist of Nintendo 64 videos, whether it's about where to buy them or other games with pricing, and that's gonna be right here. I will be sure to make it cover my face.